Okay? As long as we're in the video, then it's fine. Okay? Yeah, so welcome to A Foreigner in the Philippines. We have an advice section.
This is not good.
Try to look up there.
All right, now sit down. Okay.
Okay? Hi, welcome to... It's recorded?
I don't know.
Okay, it's recorded. Hi, welcome to A Foreigner in the Philippines. In our advice sections, some of our letters of our subscriber, we're just gonna read it. So thank you so much for sharing your life with us. So hi Terence and Beth, I am Juna, 1 year married to an American who is 45 years age gap of me. 45, okay. I am 23 now.
Wow.
But because he smoke, drink, and very slim, looks like he is 80. 80 years old, as my neighbor says. I admit I married him for survival, but I love him. We met in one of the disco bar in the city and we chatted and something happened. So he said he is serious on me, so I said yes. I love him, but our neighbors are the peste.
What?
Sorry.
Our neighbors are what?
Bad word.
Oh, you're translating?
Yeah, it's bad word. But I love him, but our neighbors are, pest.
Oh, not so good.
Yeah, in our life. Always gossip and making up stories about my past and spreading gossip about my husband that is very old, very poor, and very alcoholic, smoker. And they spreading that my husband has a lot of ladies chat me. What should I do? Beth, how you handle you being married to Terence? Jonah.
Well, the big difference that I can see is I didn't meet Beth in a bar, was it?
Yeah, we didn't meet in the bar.
We didn't meet in a bar. We met and found that we had basic ideas that were the same and found that we had a mission together. So it's not quite the same, even though the age gap for Beth and I is actually greater. Unfortunately, the other part of what your life is about right now is what we all suffer. We all suffer to a greater or lesser degree neighbors that badmouth us, and we have to rise above that.
Yeah.
And the more that you try to explain yourself, the more that you try to show them that they're wrong, tell them that they're wrong, handle all of that, you will be doing what a friend of ours described as wrestling with pigs. Don't explain yourself, live your life. If you're happy, then be happy. If you love your husband, then that's the most important thing. As for any stories that they like to spread, we have exactly the same thing. Not the same stories, but we have the same thing. People bad-mouthing us. Part of life. You have to move on and adapt to it.
Yeah, it's normal, especially if you've been in the province, or especially if you've been in the remote community where the people know you, even if you're in the other barangay, people knows you. So you just realize that how like for example before, how could you know that there's something happening? It's because it's just like that's the way of people. If they have been gathering, they will talk to you, which is normal in the barangay, in the remote community. But if you're in the city, you don't, like when I was in Cebu City, I never know my neighbor, which is next door. I know their faces, but I don't know their names.
In the next room, she's saying.
So, but here, in the in the next barangay, what's the name? So we understand your situations because Terence and I also went on that road, right? When we arrive here, and even this time. But what I think, I just grow up as a person, and I just don't mind them. Sometimes I hear something, or I heard, and then I just put on my other ear, then passing in the other ears, on the other end. So because on yourselves, that is not
Oh,
true. But
you know what the truth is.
Yeah, but you need, I think, depending also on the situations, because and that if it's really poisonous, if it's really poisonous on you, maybe you need to confront to that neighbor who's spreading, and talk to your husband about it. You should let your husband knows what's going on, because your husband is not didn't understand what's been talking, what's been happening. So you need to tell
so
to your
he's
husband.
insulated from it.
Yeah, you need to tell to your husband, so that if there's some making up stories come up to your husband, he knows that it's not true, because you've been already telling him. So
Here's the way that I would look at that. Ask yourself, how much do you know about these people?
yeah,
And if Beth and I ask ourselves, if I ask myself, how much do I know about these people who profess to know so much about me, and I don't know anything about them.
Yeah.
So what can they really know about you? You have to live your life according to your own beliefs and get on with it. At the end of every day, they're not there with you.
yeah, try to put in this way that try to ignore them, and try that they're not existing in your life. And later on you just realize, look, it's just been like garbage in the, what do you call that? Garbage in the trash can.
I don't know how, but I think you're very close to poking me in the eye.
So as this is in my personal opinion, right? So for you, what's the center? For you, Juna, it's not easy. People saying, oh, she's brave, but deep inside we could say that when we're just in our own, sometimes we cried, but always remember that on yourselves. So in my case, in my personal experience, before I'm easily irritated if I hear something, but now, because of what we've been doing, it's just like, okay, they didn't give us rice, so why would we give them what do you call that? Why would we give
even
time
listen
for them?
to what they're saying? What we found was that the stories that they made up were made up stories. So therefore, how can you offer anything in return for something that's just a made up story anyway?
Yeah.
When we came, they made all kinds of stories. We used to ride past some of these houses where we knew all of this was going on, and we used to sing that song, "We Don't Care."
Yeah,
Didn't we?
because I think we just walk. We don't have transportations the time, and we walk. We walk, and then we just pass some group of people, and then the other thing about these people is they're talking to you. It seems that you don't hear it. So sometimes I just says, okay, and then sometimes I just said to Terence, we don't care. As long as you know on yourselves what you've been doing, as long as you know on yourself that, look, this is my choice, this is my life, and I stand for it. So that's what you're gonna do. But don't put hatred on your heart, because if you put hatred on your hearts towards them, you are the same with them. So try to,
and you'll be replaying those stories in your head
you
as
just
if
put
they're
on
true.
your head. So
Don't do it.
try to be more patient, and instead of cursing them, try to pray for them for their change of behavior. Because it's like a stone can be, the more the water dripping on the stones will melt. Is that true?
I'm not quite sure about the melting.
In other words, there is no bread in a hot coffee. There is no hard bread in a hot coffee.
Okay.
Right? So
Right, that's because you have that disgusting habit of dipping the bread.
So in other words,
in the
people
coffee.
change, and who knows, their heart will change, right? So
Don't
my
don't hold your breath on that.
Yeah.
They are what they are. People are what they are. You are what you are, and And
But
why
you know,
just get on with it?
yeah, just leave it. You know, just leave it, and the revenge is not you. You know, the revenge is not in your hand,
No.
but just pray for them, right? Because the more you just be patient on them, the more you will be feel that, look, I am different than these people, and I don't want to be down to their steps, you know. So I know it's normal, you know. It's any relationship of Filipina foreigner relationship. One thing that they're going to tell is like, oh, why is it you're married to an old man? Why is it you're married to him? It's like your grandfather, your father, you know. But at the end of the day, that's your choice, and you love that person, and you need to fight for that love, right?
Yes, darling.
And don't let anybody make the relationship broke, you know. Only before I said, okay, when I hear that, like, oh, that's blah 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 blah, you know, I hear that when we arrive here, it's like blah 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 blah, and I said, they're not giving me food, they're not giving me rice, they're not giving me fish, so who I don't care, you know. Before, but in other words, I say it, but I'm a little bit a little bit
Well, you had to learn to
annoyed,
handle that,
you know.
didn't
But I learned to handle now, and I said, okay,
You learn to handle it.
as,
You do learn to handle it.
yeah, just it's a
Mm, that's
matter.
it.
I think you're just newly married, so I think in time pass by, you will learn to be strong, and you will able to smile when you look back, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so again, please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for sending for all the messages about wishing me well about my kidney problem. I really appreciate those who give advice. It just happened. It's been with me since I was in college. Yeah. Yeah, so bye-bye and God bless.